Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the beautiful Auto Club Speedway in more beautiful Fontana, California, where we're live tonight for round number 11 in the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series with the Sim500 Racing League. So glad you've joined us here tonight on the Sim Racing Network. Alongside John Weston, I am Ben Kilcrease, and the picture that you see to you is Mitch Rollo down in the production van. And here we go, John. Yet another week. We took a little vacation over the holidays, but we're back and we're ready for some more exciting action here in the FEG series.
Yes, we are, Ben. I tell you what, this is a combination of car and track that I absolutely love. The K&N cars on Auto Club, it's a blast. You and I have some experience racing each other on this car, on this track in this car, and so I'm really looking forward to tonight, man. Absolutely.
We're going to see a lot of great racing. If you remember Michigan International Speedway, the 2-mile course we visited before the holiday season, very similar in characteristics to the Auto Club Speedway here in California. So we'll see those kind of, well, we'll mimic, I think, what we saw in Michigan, and what we saw in Michigan was some just unbelievable racing. And John, the thing at Michigan was pack racing early on, but then it turned into maybe who was able to save the tires the most, and who was able to really save their stuff early in the run and make the late charges in the end of the run when it came down to closing in on those fuel runs.
Absolutely, and that's one of the great things about this new tire model. And also something I noticed, Ben, that was really awesome to watch here. We've all been in the server for a little while now, and it started off late evening, dusk. You know, the sun was up, and as time has progressed, the sun's gone down, the lights have come on the track, and it's starting to look like a night race. I love this new transition that iRacing's implemented. It's going to make for different track conditions. We started off with 82 degree track temps. It's already down to 77 degrees. So yeah, this is going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, it will, and that'll continue to drop as we're sort of in the sunset stage of the track right now, and we'll be entering the night course over the next couple of 30 or so minutes here, and we'll keep an eye on how that changes over the course of this race. So glad once again you've tuned in right here on the Sim Racing Network YouTube page. Be sure to share the stream with your friends on Facebook and all of your other social media outlets. John, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's Fast Track Sim track facts for Auto Club Speedway. 2 miles in length. We mentioned it, just almost a exact replica of Michigan International Speedway, opened back in 1997. Seats around 120,000. And John, the thing we're going to have to watch out for tonight is the drafting and the passing. It's going to be prevalent in both of those topics here in this race.
Absolutely, Ben. I was watching some of these guys during practice. They were practicing pack racing and whatnot, and I noticed that 2 or 3 car pack together, that guy back there in third or second trying to pass, is as soon as they duck out. I mean, literally as soon as they duck out of line, try and make that pass, they dropped almost 15-20 miles per hour. So you're going to probably need some help passing here, unless you happen to catch a guy who's on older tires than you are. That's about it, but it should still be very entertaining to watch.
That it should. Championship standings coming into tonight can be found at sim500.com by clicking on the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series logo, and Chad Coleman leads that championship battle into this evening, followed by Nelson Rivera, Steve Sheehan, Byron Daly, and Mike Kelly. Tonight's race is being brought to you by the great folks over at the Ford Entertainment Group. John, you can get your own custom PC built for your own budget. There's no picking and choosing parts, no buying a pre-built one. It is completely built custom to you. Be sure to contact Jeff and all the gang over at the Ford Entertainment Group. You can do so by searching them on Facebook. Just type in Ford Entertainment Group, and the driver that completes the most laps in this series, which, by the way, the lap leader so far heading into tonight is Nelson Rivera with 9:51. Second is Mike Kelly with 9:49, and Brad Bothwell is third with 9:48. John, the leader in that lap category was going to walk away with a free custom-built PC capable of VR or 3 screens.
That's awesome. I'm really jealous of that, to be completely honest with you. I was thinking about stepping down from the booth for the next season, actually, and maybe competing for that computer, because I'm going to need a new one soon.
Well, to be honest, we have sat through all the laps.
This is true, but I'm fairly certain that Jeff over there at FEG might balk at giving two of us or three of us a brand new computer for that. But yeah, that's a really cool deal, and it's awesome service from what I've heard. Personally, I haven't dealt with Jeff yet, just talked to him for quotes and whatnot, but from what I hear, he does outstanding work.
Absolutely. So let's now time to run you through the starting lineup here at Auto Club Speedway, and we'll do so right now. Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by RacingBids.com. Be sure to head over on Thursday nights for their live auction on their Facebook page. All you have to do is search RacingBids.com on Facebook. Jason Jacoby is set quick time with a 40.534. David Comstock in that number 42 will roll off outside of row number 1 on the in the runner-up spot.
Coming in behind him in third place, qualifying in third place inside of second row there, Byron Daly in the 08 car. Outside of him in fourth, it'd be Jordan Hightower at 25.
Steve Sheehan missed a couple races or missed a race, but he's back now, and he'll roll off fifth in this one in that number 66. And Bobby Terrell will roll off sixth in the number 5.
And here's someone we haven't talked a whole lot about in the last few weeks is James Shipman. He's going to roll off in 7th place inside of row 4. Outside of him, Shane Ewing in the 32 car in 8th place.
Championship leader Chad Coleman will roll off 9th, and Richard Swavely going to round out the top 10 as the rest of the starting lineup going to scroll across the bottom of your screen. And we get prepared to do 80 laps here tonight, John, 160 miles at Auto Club Speedway. And as we kind of look and search throughout, John, I'll let you find a in-race reporter that we can talk to prior to the green flag here tonight and see what their thoughts are going to be on the changing track conditions versus the sunset going to dark over the course of the first half or so of this race.
I got one right here. Here's a guy I'd like to talk to. You ready for this one? Dan Denier. Dan, John up in the booth. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
There he is. How you doing, Dan? Hey, man, we got a great night of racing ahead of us here at Auto Club Speedway. How's your car feel? What are you looking forward to?
A little tight, and I'm having a hard time being consistent, so I'll just try to dodge the wrecks and try to work my way up to the front.
I hear you, bud. Well, listen, real quick, before we let you get back and get buckled in tighter there, I don't know if you remember me or not, but you and I have some history together. We used to race against each other in the DMP series back there in the old Pappy days on the trucks.
Yeah, that's been a long time ago, but those days were good times, and I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be doing this, but I'll do as long as my knee lets me.
Oh, I hear you, bud. Well, look, good luck tonight. Get yourself buckled in there and get the tires warmed up. You're about to go green, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
You too, bud.
Here you go, Dan Denier rolling off 24th tonight here at Auto Club. It's Jason Jacoby and David Comstock leading us to the green flag. Round number 11 in the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series with the Sim500 Racing League is underway in California.
And Jacoby gets a pretty decent little start there. Maintains that first spot, but behind him we got quite a gaggle of cars all fighting for second, third, fourth, and fifth. Pretty jam-packed right there, Ben. I think we're going to see a lot of this all night long.
Absolutely, I'm going to agree with you in that battle. Right now it's for the third spot. Look at Daly to the inside of Hightower. Now Daly looking to move up to the inside of Comstock as they work to the back straightaway. That's now a battle for the second position as they race down into turn number 3. Top 4 kind of distant themselves over the 5th place battle behind them. Bobby Terrell leads a small group there. It's Jordan Hightower, though, trying to clear the 42 off of turn number 4, and he'll do just that to take the second spot.
That's Byron Daly in that 08 car taking that second spot away from Comstock. I tell you what, these guys are going to have to settle this out quickly because they don't want to abuse those tires too much because tires are going to be a premium here at California tonight.
That they are. I apologize for the mistake there. Both cat cars get me confused early on. They do this stuff to the announcers on purpose. I know they do. Back straightaway, it's Byron Daly in second. Jacoby trying to open up an early lead here at Auto Club Speedway, and back in fifth, you see Bobby Terrell there in the 5th. We're on board with your leader now as you look back on those 2 cat cars battling for that runner-up spot.
I tell you what, Ben, they've already got a signal filed out all the way back to about 15th, it looks like. So just sit in and ride for a little while. It looks like it's going to be, except for those guys right there, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They're not sitting in and riding for nothing, as we got some bump drafting going on down the front stretch, going down into 1 between Daly and his teammate. Well, I don't know his teammate, but Hightower there at 25.
Absolutely. All three of those guys were tail to nose off of the turn 4 and continued that way down the front straightaway. Watch Comstock there in the 42. He's one of those drivers that'll just sit back and ride. He's not going to get in any hurry in that Monster Energy machine there. He'll just take his time. He'll let everybody battle out in front of him. But speaking of battling out in front, not really battling anybody out in front, but it's Jason Jacoby. He's opened up. We'll see at the line here, almost a 7/10 of a second lead already in 4 laps.
Mr. Excitement, we like to call this guy, and I tell you what, he's kind of stinking the show up right now. Jason was looking really, really strong in practice. I was kind of watching him for a few laps, real smooth in, real smooth off. But at this pace, I don't know what that's going to do to his tires. He's still setting some pretty good speeds right there. He's last time by at lap 4 was a 40.778. That's only 0.2 off of his qualifying speed. Now he averaged about a 0.613, I think, over the long run in practice. So we'll see how it goes for him here.
Yeah, we will, and we'll see. If we have any cautions throughout the race, it may play a factor in his lead, or if we're able to just ride this thing all the way through from flag to flag. It's 7.5 tenths now for Jacoby, who is leading this race. We go back to around the battle for 6th, Shane Ewing, and there we go. There's the first caution of the night here at Auto Club Speedway, and it's going to be for a big one involving Dan Denayer in the number 10.
Oh, that's unfortunate there. We got to stop pulling guys up here to talk to them. It seems like every time we pull one up, they have something bad going wrong with them there. But, yeah, well, that's a pretty rough hit.
Got the replay pulled up. You'll see it happens down into turn number 1. Just an instance of maybe just a miscommunication there by a spotter, or a mismovement by one of the drivers there. Denayer getting involved with Mark Creighton in the 80, putting us under caution for the first time here in California. And it's a pretty big hit for Denayer. That may be the end of his night already.
It looks like Sean Dewar got involved, a little piece of that there. Yeah, it looks like he came in after the fact. Was trying to get woed up and just made the wrong decision on whether go high or go low there, and he's got significant damage as well.
So not the way a lot of these guys wanted to start off this race tonight here in California, but nonetheless, first caution out here in the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series as we slow down for the first time on lap number 6 here, John. I can expect we'll see most, if not all, of the leaders come down, get some fresh rubber and some fuel in these machines.
Yeah. I'm sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I expect so. At least get a somewhat of a gauge on how the tires are going to hold up. They were all pushing pretty hard there for the first 5 laps, so they're going to come in here, get some fresh rubber, get some fuel, check out their tire wear and see how that works. And I wouldn't be surprised, Ben, if later on during this race we see some 2-tire stops too.
I was just thinking that right now, John. Now would be the perfect time to go ahead and try a 2-tire stop this early in the run.
Exactly. They're so early in the run right now. We've still got 70 some odd laps to go. If it winds up biting you in the butt, you'll still be okay. As long as you don't wrap the car around a telephone pole somewhere, you'll be all right. You'll be able to go back and get you some rubber next pit stop.
Steve Sheehan having problems there in the 66. He won't even make a stop this round. He was too far right in his pit box. He'll win the race off pit road, and everybody else going to kind of file out behind, and it looks like Jacoby going to come off second with Hightower in third. A big mover
really
there
close, though.
It was J.D. Laird in the 46. We'll have to see if he took maybe 2 tires on that number 46 machine. So, nonetheless, caution out for the first time here at Auto Club, right here on the Sim Racing Network. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Welcome back to California Auto Club Speedway, round number 11 in the Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series, live right here on the Sim Racing Network. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. You can do so by heading to youtube.com/The Sim Racing Network and just hitting the subscribe button. Also, turn on the notifications so you can be notified whenever we go live. Working lap number 7 here, John, under caution for the first time. Steve Sheehan came down pit road, couldn't get in his box correctly, so he just decided to say, you know what, We just won't pit. I'm just going to go out. I'm going to take the lead, and we'll see what I can do on 6-lap old tires versus the fresher tires behind me. He'll lead us back to the green flag.
And it looks like Jacoby's got some internet issues there. He disappeared for a good 5-10 seconds there, Ben. Hope that doesn't come back to bite him here and wind up, him to drop out or something.
So a lot of, the caution periods in these races are one of the most stressful moments, because that seems to be
really
every minute of caution, something else can happen to your computer. You can run 100 laps green all day long, but as soon as a caution flies out, it seems you have a internet connection issue or a problem with your wheel, problem with your computer, something along those lines. So hopefully everything will shape out good for Jacoby. Yeah, exactly. Cat wants to play with your feet while you're racing. Anything can happen.
I'll tell you what, the myriad of things I have seen in the 20-some years I've been sim racing that have happened to me. I had a monitor literally fall off the desk. Wheel came off, shifter came off. Cat bit me so hard I bled for 20 minutes. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, man. Yeah.
Anything's possible in sim racing. I say that all the time, and the things we hear have definitely stood up to that memo. So here we go. First restart of the night. Remember, Sheehan on the older tires, getting set to go back racing. And there's the green flag. We're back underway at Auto Club.
I don't know what happened on that start there, but Jacoby didn't take off very well, and so he's got a 3-wide condition there for second place. He's got down on his inside there. He's got Hightower on the outside. He's got the 46 car, JD Laird, excuse me. Looks like he's going to back out there and let that position go to 25 and just kind of gather things up. Oh, look at that. Cuts it right back down the left. Takes it down the inside of 25 to try and take that spot back.
Wow, Jacoby with a brave move off of turn number 2. He slid right between the two Caterpillar cars and right into a position to try and take the second spot back from Jordan Hightower. In turn number 4, he's going to get the runner-up spot off 4 to the front straightaway, and now he'll set his challenge on that number 66 of Steve Sheehan, but they're 3 wide for second again as they race to turn 1.
This is going to be exciting, going down to 1, 3 wide. There's plenty of room for it. Just do you have the nerve to carry through with it? And I'll tell you what, look at that, man. He's got to get off the car a little bit there so he doesn't wash up into one of those 2 cars on his outside. So it's going to drop him back a little bit, and he's going to lose another spot, looks like, all the way back to 5th.
Wow. Yeah, you kind of entered real low in 1, and I didn't think it was going to work out for the driver, the number 88. And it didn't really, as he lost a couple of positions there. Your early leader, remember, Johnny was almost leading by a second when the caution came out, and now he's fighting for a spot inside the top 5. And look at this pack up here up front with Steve Sheehan still leading on the old tires.
I'll tell you what, that's got to be that dirty air. Your car runs great when you're out front, by yourself, but when you get behind 5 or 6 cars, that dirty air gets in there. You get all kind of aero push, and I think he's just dealing with that right now, but I think he'll be all right in that 88 car.
Absolutely. Remember, don't count out the 46 of JD Laird. He only took 2 tires under that pit stop, under that round of pit stops. Here comes Byron Daly to the inside of Hightower. That'll be a battle for second. Now Daly to the inside of Sheehan. They're 2 by 2. Now 3 wide for the lead at Auto Club.
3 wide for the lead coming out of Ford Auto Club. One car wiggles just a little bit and washes up. Still is 3 wide. And wow, Daly from the top to the bottom all the way down trying to keep that lead.
Look at him all over the front straightaway. A gaggle of cars. They got to be careful. We're only on lap 12 of 80. Sheehan stuck in the middle. He says, get me out of this mess. I'm not comfortable racing this hard this early on. But battle for the lead still going to continue to rage on. A battle for 5th behind him is still 3 wide. Terrell, Laird, Sheehan, Comstock, Pace. Everybody's in the mix.
It's hard to keep up with who's riding where right now. We got such a huge gaggle of cars. In the meantime, right there in second place, Jacoby is right on the bumper of Daly. I mean, you couldn't slide a piece of paper between those 2 bumpers.
Looking out the back, and they are 4 wide here in the Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series on the front stretch in Fontana. Sheehan going to come out with that, and here comes Larry Pace in the 00 trying to make some ground up on the bottom. David Comstock now in the 42 says, oh boy, hang on, things are getting a little bit too exciting for me as well. Still 2 by 2 through most of the field.
And in the meantime, that 5 car, Bobby Terrell says, excuse me, fellas, if y'all don't want to go, I will. So he's going to take over that spot right there in 4th. Right behind him, though, is our former points leader, Steve Sheehan, the 66. He's kind of calmed his nerves down a little bit, so he's going to bring the pack with him coming up in the 5th.
Unbelievable racing. We knew if we had an instance for this to shine, it would. And here comes Laird looking to the inside of Sheehan now for that, what will be the 5th spot as they race to turn number 1. Sheehan going to give it up pretty easily there in the number 66, and he'll fall behind that 46, at least for the time being. Now he'll peek back to the inside. We'll go back up to the battle for the lead because here comes Jacoby. He's now to the inside of Byron Daly. He's got his sights set on that number 25, the other Caterpillar car, as they almost make contact in 3 for the runner-up spot.
Daly cuts him no slack at all, pitches it down as low as he can get, trying to make the 88 car of Jason Jacoby get off that throttle and give him that spot, but Jacoby has none of that. Says, I'm going to go ahead and keep on going here. In the meantime, up front, that 25 car's got to be looking in his mirror and thinking to himself, well, here we go. I got a nice little lead. Let's see if I can spread out a little bit.
Absolutely. He loves what he's seeing in his mirror. The two drivers battling side by side and battling fiercely. Byron Daly's been on a wrath as of late in the Sunday night Winter Cup Series here at the Sim500 Racing League, winning 3 in a row, and now he's looking to start back off here in the Ford Entertainment Group after the holiday season, after the holiday vacation. He wants a win here at Auto Club as well. As they work down the front straightaway, they get spread out just a little bit for the time being. Hightower continues to lead, and it's Daly, Jacoby, and Bobby Terrell with a good run there in 4th.
In the meantime, behind that top 4, we've got a gaggle of cars still fighting out for 5th on back. You've got Steve Sheehan in the 66 right there. You've got E.J. Laird, Shane Ewing, Comstock, and Chad Coleman in the 20. He's our points leader, and he's up in the middle of this fight like there's no tomorrow.
Absolutely, and look at Ewing to the inside in the 32, making it 3 wide again here at Auto Club. Boy, we've said that plenty of times tonight so far, as we're still on board with your championship leader, Chad Coleman, there in the 20. He says, boy, just don't let me get involved in anything. You guys can fight it out. I'll patiently ride here for the time being. He's got E.J. O'Rourke all over his rear bumper in that 41 machine as he's starting to work his way through the field. Here comes Coleman. I said he was going to take it easy, and now into turn 1, he dives it to the inside of Ewing in the 32, and some side-by-side action continuing to take place for around the 6th spot.
I tell you what, Chad Coleman's one of those guys that you tell him to take it easy. He ain't got time for that. He's got to go. Points lead or not, he's going to try and work his way up to that lead and take that lead. In the meantime, speaking of our lead there, Hightower, his lead dwindling there, Ben. It looks like those guys in 2nd and 3rd have kind of sorted out, and they're going to try and catch him now.
Absolutely, as the top 3 sort of tail to nose, just riding, at least for now, down in the turn number 1 and 2, and you see Terrell still kind of chasing them there in the number 5. Dave Comstock, I told you to watch him if we get a long run going, and that's exactly what this is shaping up to be, that 42 machine. He is starting to close in on those guys too as he starts to put some distance between he and that gaggle of cars behind him. Speaking of that gaggle of cars, they're kind of starting to straighten everything out as well. Up front, we've got a challenge for the lead. Hightower goes high and Byron Daly goes low.
And he brings Jason Jacoby in that 88 with him. I don't know what happened there. It looked like the 25 of Hightower just kind of washed up a little bit. He may have had to get out of the throttle to keep some contact in that wall. So that's going to lose a lot of momentum for him, cause him to drop back to 3rd, possibly even 4th, because the 5 car of Bobby Terrell is good, putting good pressure on him, trying to get the 3rd spot away from him.
That he is to the back straightaway. Jacoby picks up right where he left off on Daly in that battle that was for 2nd. Now it's for the lead. Jacoby all over the 08, 08, 88, going at it up front for a chance at the win here in California.
And here we are, been about 10 laps past when they went green here, so we've got about 10 good hard laps on these tires now. So we should start seeing some guys start to fall back to the back, and some guys in the back to take care of their equipment come up to the front. In the meantime, up front, we've got a heck of a fight brewing for that lead. Jacoby is all over the back bumper of Byron Daly in that 08.
Look at that. He's almost going to give him a shot off turn 2 to the back straightaway. Those guys all over one another, battling for the lead. Jacoby, I think he pushed up a little high off 2, had to get out of the throttle. Lost about a car length or so to the number 08 of Byron Daly. Nonetheless, though, they continue to battle up front for this lead. A little bit of separation for the time being. Don't count that to happen for long, because here comes Jacoby back to the inside, and he may have a run to the inside of Daly down into turn number 1. Daly kept it up high down the front stretch, and Jacoby right there to the inside into turn number 1. A great battle going on as we are now 1/4 of the way complete in this race.
I'll tell you what, this is a fun race to watch between these two up front. Jacoby's got, he's just got his eyes set for that lead. He is not going to take it easy at all on these tires. Doesn't care at all. He wants to just send it in there, get it to stick, and try and take that lead away from the 08. Daly ran a pretty interesting line that last time by Ben.
Yeah.
Riding that front stretch all the way down, gave him a chance to maybe get a late entry into 1 with a late apex off of 2.
And there comes Jacoby. Daly took a sort of an defensive line down into turn number 3, and he's going to pinch the 88 down the front straightaway. Jacoby, can he keep the momentum up on the bottom, or will Daly pinch him down? They're side by side for the lead here in California, and Jordan Hightower is loving what he sees because that 25 is starting to get bigger and bigger in the mirror of these two drivers yet again.
I tell you what, Daly did a smart thing right there. He pinched the Jacoby down, forcing Jacoby to maybe get off the throttle a little bit to keep from washing up into either the car or the wall that was on his outside, and that allows the 08 of Daly to maintain that lead, or take the lead back, I should say. In the meantime, Jacoby looks like he's about to have his hands full of 25 of Hightower.
Absolutely. Still 31 drivers on the lead lap here at Auto Club Speedway. Mark Creighton is one of those drivers multiple laps down. He was involved in the early incident with Dan Denayer and Sean Dewar. Dewar, the only driver so far that has pulled it behind the wall officially. So, still 31 drivers though, John, after 23 laps on the lead lap. That's not a bad number, as you can, that really gives you a feel for the competition in this series throughout not only the top 10, but throughout the whole field.
Absolutely, Ben. Wholeheartedly agree with you on that. We've been watching these guys now for several weeks in this car. I believe you and Mitch have been racing with them actually on track. Great group of guys, very talented drivers out there. No lack of entertainment at all with this series.
A lot of the drivers you see in this series run the Midnight Thunder, which we ran, John, you and I, together at Michigan this past
Did you have to
Friday
bring that
night.
up? Really?
But had some great competition there and some great racing. If you're looking to get into sim racing, or if you're looking to find a very competitive and fun league with a good group of guys, Sim500.com is where you can get signed up to race from their beginner series all the way up to the Trent Service Monday Night Money series coming up here in 2019, which is going to be bigger and better than ever and live right here on the Sim Racing Network.
Tell you what, Ben, things are kind of quieting down just a little bit here as we get towards the end of this fuel run. But up front, it's not too quiet. You got 3 cars that you could throw a blanket over for that first place. We got Daly in the 08, Jacoby in the 88, and Hightower in that 25. And the 5's just kind of hanging back there. Old Bobby Terrell is just kind of watching and waiting and see what these 3 up ahead of him do.
Absolutely, and I'm not counting out Comstock and Ewing and J.D. Laird yet either, because if those guys get to racing 3-4 wide like we saw earlier in this deal, John, those guys can come right back into it. And look at the blocking down the front stretch. Daly throws a block. Jacoby trying to get underneath that 08 machine. Boy, there was almost contact between the two as the draft really takes effect down this long front straightaway. Daly to the back straightaway, gonna hold on to the lead at least for now. Jacoby tries to regroup and maybe tries another attack mode off of turn number 4 again, this time by. You see Daly enters a little lower than Jacoby. Jacoby's going to be able to get the good run through the center of the corner off of turn number 4. Here comes Jacoby in the 88. Another challenge for the lead on the front stretch.
I'll tell you what, Jacoby did that perfectly, timed it perfectly. He used the momentum to take him down low. If he stays right where he's at, he's not going to be able to let the 08 pinch him down, and he'll probably take that lead coming out of 2.
We'll see if he can keep the momentum up down low. Looks like a little bit of front end damage on that 88. If I'm not mistaken, that may have happened on the front stretch when they did make contact. Maybe there was contact between the two. Jacoby can't keep the power up down low, and he slides up just in front of Hightower. And Hightower, I thought, almost gave him the bumper into 3.
He does have some pretty extensive front end damage there, Ben. That may be why once he pulls out to try and make that pass, he loses so much speed. So you're right. I think there's probably some contact somewhere along the way on the 88 of Jason Jacoby, which is kind of preventing him from making his path.
Could be. He's to the inside of Daly again in turn number 1. I think he may have to try a slide job like we saw last night in the Joe Gibbs Racing off-season sim series. Look at him off turn 2, almost contact.
I just don't think he's got the tires to make that inside pass work. He's going to have to do it on the outside if he does it anywhere.
So we'll continue to watch this battle. And also in the back of the minds of not only us, John, but these drivers is pit stops. When are those pit stops going to happen? When do they need fuel? And does anybody try and play any strategy there as well? Maybe short pitting one of these rounds of pit stops to try and gain a slight advantage.
Well, we're 20 laps on a run right now there, Ben. I believe, if we're not mistaken, we had calculated the fuel run at somewhere between 33 and 36 laps, so we might start seeing some guys decide to short pit here a little bit. And don't forget, you've also got a couple of guys out there that only took 2 tires, and one guy, Steve Sheehan, didn't pit at all.
That's true. So just to update you on Sheehan, he has dropped back to 12th. He was the early points leader in this series, missed the race and kind of shook things up there in his championship bout, but nonetheless he's still a threat if it comes down to maybe tires at the end of this race. And you know, this thing is far from over yet, as we're just now shy of 10 laps to halfway.
I tell you what, Jacoby has not given up on getting that lead away from Daly in the 08. In the meantime, behind them, the 5-car of Bobby Terrell has made a move for 3rd spot. Looks like he might pull it off there, Ben, coming out of 2, going down the backstretch.
Could do it, maybe. And that bottom line is just going to be hard to... We saw this in Michigan too, John. Hard to make a pass down low once these tires get a lot of wear on them, and that's exactly what you see happen there with Terrell. He has to fall back in line behind Hightower. Is same thing with Jacoby up front. Just cannot find the grip down low he needs on the older tires, so he's almost got to maybe stick his nose to the outside of Byron Daly here on the front stretch or on the back stretch to try and get that outside groove entering the turn. That way he can keep the momentum up, and you see Jacoby do just that. He moves up on the racetrack, trying every line out here at Auto Club as the sun has pretty much set here in California. We take a look at the Interstate Batteries weather at the track. 77 degrees air temperature, and the track fluctuating around 79, 80 degrees. So John, we'll continue to watch that over the course of this run, but you know, the rubber build up and the groove has got to be changing constantly as night falls here in Fontana.
Absolutely, Ben. In the meantime, back up front, Jacoby, he is trying everything he can to get around that 08 of Daly. I just don't think he has the tires to do it. He might pull it off if he can get to the outside and stay to the outside, but I just think that this late in the run, he's going to have a hard time passing down on the inside. In the meantime, behind them, the 5 cars making a bid for that 3rd spot place again.
That he is, and same thing with Terrell. He just can't get the momentum he needs off the turn down low, and he'll try it again here in 3. And was there contact? If there wasn't, you couldn't have slid a credit card between the 2 cars. Hightower way up the racetrack and into the wall is Hightower now. Bobby Terrell goes to 3rd. Dave Comstock going to get by for 4th, and Hightower is going to lose quite a bit of positions here on the front straightaway from that contact over in turn number 4 with Terrell. And you know, if I'm Jacoby, I'm watching out the rear bumper saying, okay, maybe the door may be the only way to get around somebody, but I know he doesn't want to do that. He wants to make the pass clean, especially challenging one of the best drivers in all the service up front for the lead.
Absolutely. You want to make that pass clean, man. You really don't want to resort to dirty tactics to do it. And that's the kind of guy Jason Jacoby is. He's honorable, but he's a hard-headed driver. Hard charging, I have to say, not hard-headed. Sorry, Jason. But, yeah, he's going to want to make that pass as clean as he possibly can. But there's going to come a point where, you know, how many times is you're going to let a guy chop you off, damage the front of your nose before finally you don't lift? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We'll see all those tempers start to kind of form up as we chase closer and closer to the closing, the closing half of this race, rather. We're 6 laps away from it now. You're watching the Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group series right here on the Sim Racing Network. Boy, I'm going to take a break, John. We're going to go corner to corner. The fans won't miss anything. Neither will we. We'll be right back right here on the SRN.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to the Sim Racing Network, and we are live from Auto Club Speedway here in the Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series action. And boy, John, this has been a dandy of a race so far. You see the battles for the lead continuing to rage on. We have some pit stops starting to take place. We're 2 laps away from halfway, and lots of things are going through the minds of these drivers right about now, John. Are they going to be able to make it on one more stop? How long can they push it? How long will the tires survive in the closing laps, or in the closing stage up to the halfway point of this race?
You and I were just talking about that in the commercial break there, Ben. Sheehan pushed it as far as we thought he needed to make it on one stop, and therefore if he can do it on one stop from here on out, I believe the rest of the guys can too. So it's going to be a matter of who plays chicken, who stays out the longest, and who gets to take those tires, because we're looking at almost a 2-second advantage on new tires versus old tires right now.
Absolutely. So Sheehan was able to stay out. Let's see, that's what, about 38, 36, 7 laps, John, plus with 1 caution mixed in. So that's really, you see Jordan Hightower dipped down from about the 5th, 6th, 7th position back. He's coming down the pit road as well. I don't know, John, we may be cutting it close with one more stop here. They may have to do a splash and go at the finish of this thing, or close to the finish of this thing, to make it, especially if you're up here battling for the lead full bore on it all the way around the racetrack. Some of these guys that are in the draft, middle of the pack, John, they might be set up perfectly here to run it out all the way to the finish on one more stop.
Absolutely. I think, Ben, and this is me thinking, South Louisiana math, you know what I'm saying? But if these guys can get the, Jacoby's coming off now, he's pitting, so never mind, that's all out the window. What I was going to say is, if they can get to 42 or 43, I think they might be able to do it on one stop, but Jacoby said he's not going to play with that.
Absolutely. These guys pitted back on lap 6, so that's at least, 34 or 33 lap run nonetheless. So we were right, John, around 33 laps for a pit stop, or for a fuel run here at Auto Club. So we'll definitely, as it sits right now, with our commentator knowledge, we'll expect these guys back down at least one more time here in California. Your leader, Byron Daly, heads to pit road. He brings Comstock, Ewing, and many others behind.
And
a crash. Your leader has crashed on pit road, and a caution flies as more trouble happens on pit road. Larry Pace is in it, and many others.
Wow.
Wow. Have you ever?
Well, actually, yes, I have done that exact thing. Sorry.
And
I know what you're getting at, but
the caution was for Dwayne Vincent there in the number 17, trying to come on to pit road. He was the one that spun on the racing surface. Puts us under caution for the second time with multiple drivers on pit road. Some may be trapped a lap down.
wow, the 17 just looped it there. That's a result of too much brake bias right there. These guys play with their brake bias then as the run goes on to help them get down in the turn a little bit better when the tires start to go out. And I've done it myself. I've forgotten to put the brake bias back up so I don't spin getting into the pits.
Yep, and then what you mean by the brake bias there, John, is you put more brakes towards the rear of the car. It kind of helps turn the car into the corner, and just like you said, you forget to, put more brakes back in the front, and then when you go to jump on it coming on pit road, going from 200 mile an hour down to 50 or so, that's when the rear end starts to jump out ahead of the front end and put you in some trouble. But nonetheless, drama on pit road here as the pit stops were just about to take place. Larry Pace was involved. He was running up in the front. Byron Daly was leading. He spun out on pit road. Jason Jacoby came down a lap before the caution. Boy, this is going to shake things up. Bobby Terrell scored your leader right now. He'll head to pit road. Steve Sheehan, he came down a little early. He's going to stay out and get his lap back. But man, oh man, talk about a shakeup as we have a caution under green flag pit stops.
I tell you what, if there's anything that we could say is the kryptonite of this group of awesome drivers, it's pit road.
Absolutely, yeah. Seems to always bite somebody some way in some form every week, and it never fails, whether it's sliding through the pit box or missing, pit road completely. You see even David Comstock there. He just slid through his pit box. He was running third at one point in this race, and he gets shuffled out there when the caution flies. My, oh my.
Man, I tell you what, I think I'm sorry. The biggest benefactor of all this chaos is probably going to be the 88 of Jacoby, even though he was kind of pinched, not pinched, but kept the lap down for just a moment there. He was the lucky dog. Came all the way around with his fresh tires and looks like he's going to line up in about 6th, it looks like. It's hard to tell who these wave arounds are going to be up front, but he's not going to be too bad off right there.
So we'll still have to wait and see how everything cycles back around, as Byron Daly might have also got away scot-free on this one as well, as looks like Daly, if he was able to get his service done after the spin, he'll be good here. And Jacoby looks as if he'll come back down pit road. EJ O'Rourke going to come back down pit road, so it'll take a minute for everything to get kind of sorted out and back into place. And while it does that, we'll take another quick break right here on the Sim Racing Network. Thanks for tuning in. Just past the halfway point, closing in on the checkered flag in race number 11 at Auto Club Speedway. We'll get you an updated lineup when we return from California.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
welcome back to Auto Club Speedway. As boy, John, things are really shaken up after a caution during green flag pit stops. Let's run through the racingbids.com current standings as they sit right now.
You might want to wait on that. I'm just saying. Oh, you mean point standings?
No, we're gonna run through the standings on the track because we're
Good
one
luck
to go
with that.
right now. Yeah, but we'll try and get you, the best we can. Shane Ewing is definitely going to lead us back to the green flag alongside Bobby Terrell. Then it's J.D. Laird, James Shipman, row 2, Mike Kelly, Bob Gillenwater, row number 3, Chad Coleman, and it looks like Joe Hudson, row 4, Nelson Rivera, Randy Yoakum, row 5. So we've taken pretty much our whole top 5 prior to this, and we've mixed them all throughout the rest of the field.
Yeah, pretty much. And we're going to restart this thing with some banged up cars and, guys with 2 tires, guys with 4 tires. But, hey, it's just going to make things that much more exciting.
That it is. Buckle up. It's far from over. We're just past halfway here in race number 11 in the Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series. They'll stack them up 2 by 2 by 2. A lot of these guys have been up front all night, but this will be their first chance to lead some laps. And we'll see who wants those laps the most. Pace car to pit road. Back underway here for restart number 2. Ewing leads us to turn 1.
And he got a really good jump on the start there, Ben, which, usually happens with the guy who leads it down the green. But behind him, we've got a whole herd of cars just aiming to take that spot away from him. And I tell you what, it looks like the 46 of J.D. Laird is going to take over that second spot and set his target sights on the leader.
Laird tagged the apron and it washed him up the racetrack, and that allows Terrell to come back to the inside, and there's a crash. The 09 goes around. That's Alan Cryer sideways on the back straightaway. There was also some more contact in front of him. It looks like it started with the 77 of Thomas O'Leary.
Yeah, I don't know. That looked like netcode for a second there, Ben.
I'll get the replay pulled up here, and yeah, I gotta agree with you there, John. It looks like the one of Chris Caboo just kind of came up on the 77 right there and didn't necessarily make contact with him, but netcode there certainly prevailed and sent that 77 of O'Leary around, and the 09 kind of a victim of circumstance of checkup there. He also goes around in this one, putting us under caution for the 3rd time here in California.
What we mean by netcode, for those of you who are new to sim racing and to iRacing in particular, basically it's the communications between each client or driver to the servers of iRacing. Sometimes they get their X's and O's mixed up a little bit in the data transfer, and iRacing thinks the car is about 6 inches to the left of where it actually is, where we see it at, or whatever you want to call it. And it looks like an invisible hand went out there and spun that car around. It happens. Sometimes it's mild, sometimes it's wild, but it's there.
Absolutely. We don't really have a lot of mechanical failures on the iRacing service, John, so our netcode is kind of makes up for that. So nonetheless, caution out though for the 3rd time. Ewing going to continue to lead us back to the green flag. I don't see anybody coming down pit road this time by. I think we all should be good to go to the finish. Maybe a couple other guys going to come down late, back in the pack, John, fix some damage. But all up front, everybody going to stay out. And going to restart this race pretty much how we did just a lap or so ago.
Yep, except for those 2 Miller Lite cars, I tell you what, those guys, it's hard to tell them apart because one's a 2 and one's a 5, and from a distance, they look almost the exact same.
That's again done on purpose to fool the announcers.
To mess with us, as if we don't look foolish enough on our own.
It's Bobby Terrell that's on the inside of the racetrack right now. Mike Kelly is on the outside. Kelly with the gold rims there.
I'm going to show my age here, Ben. I'm going to show my age. I'm sure that I know most of race fans remember when Winston was the sponsor of the Cup Series.
Yep.
But do you remember, before Winston, who the sponsor of the series was?
I do not.
There wasn't one. It was simply known as the Grand National Series.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think there was one, but I didn't know if that was the right answer or not.
Nah, I'm just. Oh, our producer's cackling in the background there, like a little mama hen.
Got to give it to our producer, though, John. Last night he stepped up and let me have some fun out on the racetrack.
Yes, he did. He did a fantastic job.
As second chair. And luckily
you did a
he
pretty damn
hasn't
good
had
job too there, Ben, I must say.
Thank you. You know,
wheeling that little
wasn't
midget.
bad.
No, dude, I can't even get out of the pits in that car. People, well, I don't know why you're laughing. It's true. You should have seen it. I've got a video to prove it. I couldn't even. I literally couldn't get out of the pits. It would like. It felt to me like the car was stopping, so I give it a little more gas, and next thing I know, I'm doing wheelies and 360s, and at one point, I'm pretty sure I was 20 feet in the air in the car.
You know what happens? All part of it. All part of learning. But those cars are fun. They're certainly a handful, and I'm glad.
The best part, Ben, was I had my 4-speed back turn. And when that thing starts shaking and shimmying and my whole computer and the rig and everything's moving, that cat was freaking out, man. She came flying out from under the desk.
probably knocked a filling or two loose, yeah?
I bit my tongue. We're not going to joke about that, though.
Got to thank Joey and all the guys for letting me participate last night. That was real fun to kind of get out there and race with these drivers.
That race was fun to broadcast and fun to watch. You guys made it look really easy. Very entertaining race. But hey, guess what?
What's that?
I think we're about ready to go back to green.
I think so.
No, the lights are still on. Well,
lights are still on, John. They flipped them on. They flipped them off. They're playing with us again.
Playing with my emotions. the problem I have, Ben, is I've still got another pizza sitting next to me, and I smell it. And my taste buds in my mouth are like, more, and my stomach's like, I dare you.
Gotta hurry up and get done so we can have some pizza. That's what John's worried about.
I've had too much pizza, man.
I tell you what, Shane Ewing is worried about turning these lights off so he can get back at it and take control of this race again, and they do that right now. So lights back off on the pace car. Ewing looking to get back out here and take this lead away and hopefully hold on to it for a little while. Let's see if we can chat with the driver real quick, John, before we go back under the green. I'm gonna let you pick. I'm gonna let you dial up the radio.
Let's get our race leader.
You're in fate, or you're in control of our fate here. So let's see who John chooses.
Hello, number 32, Shane Ewing, who just happens to be leading this race right now. This is John up in the booth with Ben. How you doing, bud?
Hey, John, doing pretty good.
I know we're getting ready to go back to green here, so we'll make this quick. How's your car feeling, man? You've been looking pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I got a good car tonight. Not used to being this close to the front. Hopefully, we can go green here for a bit and get spread out and bring this Mac Tool Chevy home a good finish.
Well, all right, my friend. We just want to chat with you for a minute and get a feel for how you're doing out there, and wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, man. Have fun up there.
Yes, sir. Go get them.
We have it, Shane Ewing, set to lead us back to the green flag here at Auto Club. As here we go, John. Be 29 laps to go when we get the green flag. This thing is far from over, and the excitement level, you thought it was big when we had 4 wide earlier. John, let me tell you, this thing's wide enough for 6 wide. We'll see if we see that as the green flag is back out and we're back underway.
And once again, Ewing got a decent start, but that 46 didn't let him get too far ahead of him. So right now, Ewing has the lead going down to 1 with the 46 in second, and those 2 Miller cars, the 5 and 2 of Mike Kelly and excuse me, Bobby Terrell, are pulling up in 3rd and 4th there. I mean, they're all kind of back nose to tail right there, Ben.
Absolutely. They race single file off of turn number 2 to the back straightaway. Ewing, Laird, Terrell, Kelly, and then the battle for 5th is between Chad Coleman and James Shipman up in that 52.
And I tell you what, the 46 just sent it down into 3 pretty hard. They're trying to make a fight for that lead to get away from the 32 car. 32 car washes up, gives the 2 and the 5 a chance down there to take second away. It looks like Ewing's going to fall back all the way to about 5th or 6th.
Maybe outside of the top 5. And let's focus on Jason Jacoby real quick,
wide.
John. Yeah, I told you.
6 wide.
They were 5, at least 6 wide on the front stretch easily there, and there's still 3 wide in this group behind them up front. We have to keep an eye on the battle for the lead as well, because here comes Mike Kelly in that number 2, the championship contender, challenging for the lead over J.D. Laird in turn 3.
And I tell you what, he kind of sent in there a little hard down the inside and washed up, lost a little bit of power there. He's going to slow up, cause his teammate behind him in the 5 car to slow up a little bit. It was going to give Chad Coleman a shot at 3rd place down there on the inside.
Remember, Chad Coleman is the championship leader heading into tonight, so he can definitely not afford a mistake in this race and have him marred back outside of the top 15 or 20 on the final finishing results tab. Look at James Shipman in the 52. Boy, he turned it to the left off of turn 2 down the back straightaway to get to the inside of the 20. That'll be a battle for 4th.
And in the meantime, the 5 car says, hey, I want to get up there now too. Ducks it down to the inside of his teammate, the 2 car, Mike Kelly. So it looks like Terrell's going to try and take that 2nd place away from him. He's got a pretty good run coming off of 4 going down the front stretch.
My, oh my, what a race these guys are putting on here at Auto Club Speedway tonight. 26 laps to go here in the Sim500 Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series. It's J.D. Laird leading with Mike Kelly and Bobby Terrell going at it for the runner-up spot. And here comes Chad Coleman trying to get back into a podium position.
I tell you what, the 46 of J.D. Laird looks up his mirror and sees all this craziness behind. He's like, you guys go ahead and keep doing that. I'm just going to keep on going.
Oh, they're crashing. Big one. Terrell up and into the air.
Wow, that looked bad.
A horrific crash down into turn number 3. Got turned sideways at 200 mile an hour up and into the catch fence. Just an instant there, John, of not enough room, not enough car, and thankfully enough fence, though, because that's the only thing that kept him inside the racetrack.
Absolutely. The 61 was just a guy that had nowhere to go, wrong time, wrong place. And unfortunately, he's got a lot of damage on his vehicle. That would be the 61 of Joe Hudson. The 52 of James Shipman was involved in that, but he's not quite as damaged. But I think the 5 car, I think his night's probably done.
You know, I'm gonna be safe and say so myself as well. That car was at least 30 feet in the air at one point, and he flew through the air for about 4 or 5 football fields through turns number 3 and 4, putting us under caution yet again here at Auto Club Speedway, this time in dramatic fashion in turn number 3. Some crazy racing happening up front.
That was just insane.
And more drama under caution here, John, is J.D. Laird. He may have thought some guys are going to stay out with him, but boy, that's a lonely feeling there.
It really, really is. I've been down that road too, man. It's like, I know that if I pit, everybody's going to stay out, or if I stay out, everybody's going to pit. But what are you going to do? I mean, there's, you know, you roll your dice. That's what you do, man.
Rolled the dice he did. We'll see how well the dice roll is for him. We'll see how it stacks up on a Las Vegas gambling table as everybody else down pit road. We'll see if anybody decides to take 2 tires on this pit stop here.
The 08
Daly does,
2.
Comstock, and there's a
07
spin.
just spun on pit road.
Boy, some crazy action as Doy Woods spins it out on pit road there. My, oh my.
Just when you think you've seen it all.
Wow. So we'll see if we can get everything sorted back out for you here. It's going to be another shakeup up front with David Comstock, Byron Daly on 2 tires. Mike Kelly, he stays on the 4-tire strategy. James Shipman on 4, Chad Coleman on 4. And from there on back, you know, it's up in the air. We'll take a moment to sort everything out. You won't miss anything on corner-to-corner coverage right here on the Sim Racing Network. We'll be back with the checkered flag closing in sight.
Ever dreamed of being paid to dive? Think you can handle the heat of cooking for hundreds of brave troops? Could you deploy a sophisticated communication network in some of the remotest corners of the planet? Can you see yourself delivering essential healthcare in a state-of-the-art portable clinic? Would you like to pull off intense workouts and a paid education? Or execute a precision landing just in time to save a life? Perhaps you'd prefer to master cutting-edge electronic systems in the middle of the ocean. Dare to be extraordinary with the Canadian Armed Forces. Apply for one of over 100 full and part-time careers and acquire sought-after skills and training that will serve you everywhere. A message from the Government of Canada.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
Welcome back to Auto Club Speedway as we're setting you up for another exciting run to the finish here in the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series. It's J.D. Lair going to lead us to the green flag. Now, John will keep in mind that he is on no tires. He stayed out under this most recent caution. Mike Kelly to his outside. He's on 4. Byron Daly and David Comstock, they'll make up row 2. Those two drivers on 2 tires. James Shipman, Chad Coleman, they're on 2. Bob Gillenwater and E.J. O'Rourke, they're on 2 tires. Nelson Rivera and on back, all on 4. So here we go. As we set them, rack them, stack them, it'll be 21 laps to go to the finish in Auto Club. What's going to happen here, John? Anything's up in the air.
They're going to go fast and turn left.
Go fast, turn left. All right.
Because if they don't, it's going to hurt really bad.
Here we go. We'll find out who is going to keep their car planted to the ground the best in these final closing laps. 21 more circuits around Fontana's Auto Club Speedway. Boy, a big stack up here. There's going to be some contact in the back of the field, and we're back underway.
I think 46 was trying to play some mind games there, Ben, and it backfired on him because it gave a chance for the 2 to get right up beside him going down to the 1. So you got to imagine the 2 on the outside has probably got the preferred line coming out of 2.
We'll see if he can
and
keep
as
the momentum
I say
up.
that,
yeah, Laird able to pull up just in front, but here comes Kelly. A look to the inside, a block from the 46. Kelly runs him down the racetrack. They're side by side for the lead, and here comes Daly and Comstock. They're trying to get in this battle for the lead as well. Remember, Laird on the old tires. He's not going to be able to last long versus the fresh ones.
That's right, and we're starting to see the weakness of those old tires now as he drops all the way back from first to, at the moment, third, probably going to be 4th or 5th before it's over with going down the front stretch. 4 wide behind him, 4 wide.
Look at that. Some amazing racing going on. Middle of the pack. It's Mike Kelly leading us, though, followed by Byron Daly, followed by Comstock, and look at Chad Coleman trying to make some noise. We've mentioned him all night, but he hasn't really cracked the top 5. We're on board with him as he races to 3.
Coleman said it's time for him to start making his moves, and look at him go, man. I tell you what, he's down on the inside there. He's going to lose a little bit of momentum coming out of 4, so that's going to give a chance for the 42 and the 52, excuse me. Yeah, the 52, is it? I can't see through the smoke. Yeah, 52, my bad. Drop alongside of him there. I apologize, fans. I've got a bad camera view here that all I could see was haze. In the meantime, look who's back there, Ben. Mr. Excitement, the 88 on the outside of Coleman. Looks like he's going to try to make a bid for that spot.
How about that? That was some close racing over in turn number 2, and they get close again on the back straightaway with Hightower and Coleman and Jacoby. They're all under a blanket right there going at it. Jacoby, he's got fresh tires, 4 fresh tires on that 88 machine, and he's looking to work his way back into the top 5. Remember, he got shuffled out. He was running second most of the race, led early on, and he got shuffled out in some pit road action when a caution flew. He almost turned himself across the bumper of the 25 there, as things are really starting to heat up with under 20 to go.
I tell you what, man, this is just insane right here. I really thought that he was going to turn himself around when he came across the nose of that car. In the meantime, Hightower, it looked like he's trying to make up his mind who he wants to bump drive going down the straightaways here. First, he tried the back of Jacoby's car. That didn't work out for him. Then he ducked down behind Coleman's car, and that didn't work for him. So they're going to go back to single file racing here for those three. Meantime, back up front, we've got to fight for the lead.
For the lead, I was just about to pick up on it. John, the caution flies. Oh, and it's a massive, massive crash. It looks like the 94 of Jonathan Morrison upside down in this one. Another car going for a wild ride, but it all happened in front of him with, looks like maybe the 32 of Ewing.
Yes, sir. It looks like he came down the nose of the 8 a little bit there, or maybe they came up together. I'm not real sure, but that's what got it started.
So Ewing and Yoakum, and looks like Wetzel was also got a piece of that. The 17 of Dwayne Vincent involved in another incident.
The 94, man. And it looked like the 17 just went nose first straight into the wall.
Yeah, and then Morrison just kind of comes in late to the scene and finishes off the Vincent machine and rolls down the racetrack after another wild crash here in turn number 3 and 4 at Auto Club, putting us under caution yet again. And now we'll restart this thing under 15 laps to go. Pits are open this time. What do we see? Now Comstock going to be the
sitting
lonely
duck.
Yeah, the lonely guy out, but he'll have the lead when we go back green. Now the question is, do we see 2 or 4 tires on most of these guys? I'm thinking 2 for at least the top 10.
Well, we're about to find out here shortly. My bet is you're right, 2 tires. We're under 15 to go. They're going to be going back to green with probably, what, 12, 11 laps to go. So yep. 2 tire stops not entirely out of the question here.
And just as we say that, quite a few drivers are going to opt to take 4. So look at there.
2 tires on Jason Jacoby. He comes out first ahead of Coleman there.
So Jacoby, Coleman, and hey, here's a name we haven't spoke of much tonight after he was the lone wolf out on that first caution. Steve Sheehan going to be back up in the mix after everything cycles.
Mr. Where he's been,
back
huh?
around, yeah, exactly.
Well, we just had our second car of the evening go ahead and take off behind the wall there. Dan Denayer's out officially, so that leaves, I believe, what, 31 cars left in the race?
Yeah, around the 30 mark is, yeah, we'll go
32.
31, 32.
Well, Bobby Terrell might be out too. Yeah.
So none.
That's not bad for a bunch of K&N cars on a slick track like Auto Club.
Not at all. These guys have definitely been through some tests of time tonight with the crashes around them, and we've had some pretty big crashes, but not a lot of multi-car incidents, John, as we've been accustomed to seeing maybe in this series and in its earlier stage. We couldn't have a crash, it seemed like, without taking 5 or 6 with them, but now these guys they've really not only improved their driving around the racetrack, but their crash avoidance and just their overall track awareness has improved tremendously over the course of this season, and they just continue to get better and better week in, week out.
Absolutely, Ben. I couldn't agree with you anymore. These guys, like you said, when we first started the series off, I really thought Joey Katina, the admin of this place, was going to have a heart attack trying to keep these guys in line. But as the times progress, these guys, like you said, they've gotten used to each other, used to the vehicles. They've learned their crash avoidance quite well. It's been so entertaining to watch these guys week in and week out. I was kind of bored for 2 weeks when we took that time off. I'm glad we're back.
I am too. Glad to be back right here on the Sim Racing Network. If you haven't followed us yet on YouTube, or subscribed to us rather, be sure to do so. Just head to youtube.com/The Sim Racing Network. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever we go live. And if you're on Facebook, be sure to find us on Facebook. All you have to do is search facebook.com/The the Sim Racing Network. Check out our website and our Teespring shop on there as well, the simracingnetwork.com. Lights
Teespring.
We got all our T-shirts,
our merch.
The great debate, tail to nose or nose to tail.
We haven't discussed that one in a while, have we?
No, there's not really any discussing to it, John. It's tail to nose.
There's a third option, bumper to bumper.
Bumper to bumper.
You always cut me off, man. You always cut me out of the action, man. It breaks my heart. In the meantime, I do believe the lights are going out on the pace car. This time by, 1 to go, and that's going to put us going green on lap 68. I don't know, Ben. 12 laps. A lot can happen in 12 laps, my friend.
Yeah, we should restart. It looks like 30. No, wow, not 30. 13 laps to go. How about that? That sounds
You wish it was 30.
A little closer. So 13 laps to go. David Comstock, Jason Jacoby, Chad Coleman, Steve Sheehan, Jordan Hightower, E.J. O'Rourke, Byron Daly, Mike Kelly, J.D. Laird, and then the 07 of Doy Woods.
Look for that 88 of Jason, Mr. Excitement Jacoby, to really start mincing meat on 42 here. I tell you what, he's got 2 good tires compared to Comstock's no tires. He stayed out. And we know he's hungry for a win in this series. He's real hungry for a win. Behind him is our former points leader, Steve Sheehan. He's another good car to watch. But look who's down there in third. Chad Coleman, our current points leader, who doesn't know how to take it easy, doesn't know how to protect his points lead because he doesn't care. He just wants to go out and win. So here we go, Ben, coming through 3 and 4. Lights are off on the pace car. We're about to go green, buddy.
There we are. We'll see who's going to be able to survive the final 13 laps of this one. Everybody's good on fuel, but tire strategy still can come into play. You can't push too hard too early, or you'll use up all those Goodyear rubbers in the first handful of laps. Pace car going to duck down to the safety of pit road. Comstock and Jacoby lead us back to the green flag. There it is. We're back underway in Fontana, and boy, did that inside line get a good jump over the outside.
They really did there. I don't know if Jacoby spun his tires or was just sleeping. Oh, a little contact there between the 08 and the 25. And tell you what, the 88 drops all the way back to 6th place, it looks like, on this one. But he's still got some time to make that back up. In the meantime, back out front, Comstock got a pretty decent lead there. And behind him, the 41 of E.J. Laird is making a move under the 46, trying to take that. Sorry, E.J. O'Rourke, my apologies.
Yeah, so they battle into turn number 3 for around the 6th position, side by side. They get it sorted out, tail to nose to the front straightaway. Wow, Comstock almost got a chunk of the wall, not a piece, but a chunk, and he had to really get out of the throttle off turn 4, and that allowed Chad Coleman to close up to the bumper. Now Coleman going to look to the inside. No, he holds off, at least for the time being. Comstock, Coleman, Hightower, Daly, Jacoby, Laird, they're all tail to nose battling for the lead.
Oh, this is fantastic racing. In the meantime, up front, the number 20 of Chad Coleman's going to make a bid to the inside.
Oh, there goes Jacoby around.
Oh, no.
Into the inside wall. No caution yet.
We stay green, it looks like.
Get a quick replay pulled up of that incident. And we got to do it real quick. As they run through 1 and 2, it looks like just another miscommunication of the cars moving around on the bumpy back straightaway. Laird gets a piece of the wall, and then a piece of Jacoby, and just like that ends both of their nights. We go back up to the front for the battle, for the lead, and for the win here at Auto Club Speedway. Coleman to the inside. They're 2 by 2 up front, challenging for the win.
Coleman had to leave very momentarily, very briefly there. Meantime, outside him, Comstock fights back to the outside. He had a little help from 25 as far as drafting. The 42 cuts down in front of the 20 to maintain that lead. In the meantime, on the outside, Hightower in that 25, he's going to try and draft right up to the bumper of our leader in the 42.
Hightower got the run off turn 4. Now he turns it to the inside in turn 1. Another challenge for the lead. This time from the 25 to the 22 or to the 42. Hightower will clear him. Can he slide up in front of Comstock? Can he set sail now on that number 25? Jordan Hightower to the lead on the backstretch.
Hightower takes that lead over the 42, but the 42 is not giving up without a fight. He's tucked up right underneath the bumper of the 25, going down into 3. In the meantime, behind them, 08 of Daly and the 20 of Chad Coleman have kind of sorted things out a little bit. Single foul there. In the meantime, back up front. I tell you what, it looks like the 25 is going to be able to hold off the 42 of Comstock. Daly on the outside of Comstock now, trying to take away that runner-up spot.
Remember, Comstock on older tires than most of these guys. He took two pit stops ago and still hasn't had left side tires in probably 25 or 30 laps, as is Comstock. And look at Byron Daly. Where did he come from? He chased down the 25 off turn 2. He turns it to the inside of Hightower, and now they go side by side for the lead into turn number 3.
From third to first, it looks like for Byron Daly coming through turns 3 and 4. He's got the inside preferred line, lets it wash up a little bit to the front of 25 to break his momentum, and he's going to take that lead. But look at this, the 25 is going to try and turn back down to the left of him, get underneath him, but it's not going to happen. Coming across the line this time by the 08 of Byron Daly has a lead.
Man, Daly had a power move off turn 2 to last go by. 8 laps to go. This time, 7.5 as they work to the back straightaway. Byron Daly is looking to run away with this thing and take the victory here at Auto Club. He's got Hightower behind him, Comstock in third, fourth is Chad Coleman, James Shipman sits fifth, and then you have Steve Sheehan trying to hold off Mike Kelly and E.J. O'Rourke back there for the 5th spot.
I'll tell you what, that was an exciting fight for the lead, but I don't know if it's over yet or not. We're under 7 to go here, it looks like, and 08 of Daly's got a pretty decent little lead there, about 2/10. And the main time behind him, I tell you what, they're still dicing it up out there for 4th and 5th.
That they are, as you see Sheehan in that 66. He's all over the rear bumper of that 52 of Shipman. It's now time. It's that moment of the race where Sheehan starts to come alive, and you see him work to the inside of the 52 to the back straightaway. Battle for the 5th spot heating up as they race to turn number 3. We'll see if Sheehan can do anything down low. Boy, he really sends it into 3. We'll see if we can keep the momentum up down on the bottom. Shipman to the outside, side by side. They continue to race for the 5th spot. Coleman's there as well. Then Comstock and now Hightower trying to close back in on Byron Daly with 6 to go.
And we've got a late caution. That might be the race. I'm not real sure, Ben.
Bob Gillenwater going around on the front straightaway. Up in the air again, another airborne crash. Wow, another vicious crash. Wait till you see this replay, John, here on the front stretch at Auto Club in the number 4.
Oh my goodness. They don't wreck easy on this track when they hit the wall, do they?
No, they're definitely going to have to, wow. A lot of fence repair going on for the grounds team here after this one.
Absolutely, man. That catch bench is definitely getting its use tonight between the back stretch and the front stretch here. Man, that's a poor race car.
So caution out again, and we'll see if we'll get this race restarted here at Auto Club. We'll see if anybody comes down to pit. And you know, the thing about pitting, John, is, you know, if you know for sure we're going to go back green, then yes, come down, throw some tires on it. But we're not for certain that we're going to restart this race. Of course, iRacing has not implemented the green-white checkers yet. I mean, we just saw the track go from dusk or from sunset to night, but still waiting on green-white checkers. Byron Daly, though, definitely in the catbird seat. If this thing does restart, he'll be in control of the race. He'll be in control of the restart, and we'll just have to wait and see if we do restart this race. We're coming to 4 to go. Right now, we'll have to turn the lights off in the next 2 laps if we intend to go back racing.
I bet I know what Byron Daly wants to see.
Yeah,
he wants to see the lights stay on. Oh, look, Comstock playing some games down there. I wonder, though, Ben, has anybody in the history of sim racing ever fallen for that trick?
You know, I think they have.
Yeah. I won't confirm or deny my
You're gonna stay
choices.
silent.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah. How about them Saints?
How about? I hope Joey Gattina's not watching, because I was gonna ask how about the Clemson Alabama game last night. Probably best we don't bring that up.
Maybe that's why we didn't see him tonight.
Wow.
We love you, Joey. Go Clemson.
Oh boy. So Byron Daly, he is leading this race right now. Coming to 3 to go. We've still got 2 more laps to turn the lights off here, John. As now it's just a game of really sit and wait here at Auto Club as we see who's gonna maybe, we see if we're gonna restart this race or if Byron Daly's gonna win this race.
Well, if we go back to green, if we go back to green, I'm already at green. But anyway, if we go back to green, I can promise you it's going to be a wild finish. These guys don't cut each other any slack when it's down below 5 to go.
I don't think they've cut each other any slack when it was 1 lap on the board.
I have to agree with you.
They've been going at it since the initial drop of the green flag, and they have provided some spectacular racing nonetheless.
And this is not an easy car to slice and dice and race that hard, and it's really not. Not like the trucks. The trucks can take a beating, and I mean you can go through turn 1 sideways in the trucks, and it works itself out. But these cars are a handful to handle, and the way these guys just race each other so hard, it's really impressive.
Absolutely. So it looks like if we get the lights off this time by John, we'll have a 1-lap shootout to determine the winner here at Auto Club Speedway. That's only if the lights go off this time at the line. So we'll wait and see.
I bet if we tune into the 08 right now, we hear a bunch of praying going on in that cockpit.
Absolutely. Liquid fluid still on the track. We can't go green. You have to continue to pace. As Byron Daly leads, we'll run through the RacingVids.com top 10 as they sit right now. Jordan Hightower second, third, David Comstock fourth, Chad Coleman, Steve Sheehan fifth, James Shipman is sixth, seventh is Mike Kelly, EJ O'Rourke is eighth, ninth to Chris Caboo, and Nelson Rivera rounds out the top 10. And that could be the way they finish, or it could be the way they just restart, and then we'll have to shake it up for 2 miles and then go back over that list.
I tell you what, I don't know if I want to go back to green. I don't have any blood pressure meds left over here. My wife's already told me she's got life insurance on me, so CPR is out of the question.
Oh my. Wow. Here we go. Moment of truth right here, John. Do we turn the lights off? Do we go back racing, or do we pace it out for another couple laps? At the line, boy, you would have thought they were coming.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
What's it going to be? Do the iRacing gods grant us a green
Nope, the lights are off.
Flag finish? They do. We're going to restart this race.
We are going to restart this race on the final lap. So what is that, like a bright checkered? Not green, white, but bright checkered?
That's, let's call that a white checkered.
Our producer, folks, if y'all can hear him right now, he does not have any kind words for me at all.
Here we go. Set to go back racing, but let's pause real quick, 10 seconds for station identification. Welcome back to Auto Club Speedway. It's a 1-lap shootout in beautiful Fontana, California. John, what's Byron Daly's strategy on this restart? I think you just got to go as soon as the pace car gets out of the way and hope nobody can catch your draft down the backstretch.
And make that car as wide as he possibly can. Earnhardt Sr. was the best at that. I mean, he could turn a 5-foot wide race car 30 foot wide at the weirdest times. But yeah, that's what Daly's going to want to do right here, Ben. He's going to want to get the restart of a lifetime, and then just make that car as wide as possible.
Here we go. Only 2 miles to do it. That's a trip to the supermarket and back for most Americans. Pace car to pit road. Green flag is back in the air. 1 lap to settle it in California.
And Daly does exactly what he needed to do, Ben. He got a great start there. 2 car links going down into 1. Now he's going to look in that mirror and hope to God these guys behind him just start pressuring each other. Look at that, 5 wide. 5 wide going through turns 1 and 2.
Absolutely. We won't focus too much. Middle of the pack. If they crash, they'll just have to race it out. We're going to the checkered flag. There's a huge wreck behind.
Coleman,
a big crash.
Involved
yeah,
in
and the championship leaders involved in a crash. But through 3 and 4, here comes Jordan Hightower. He tries to close to the bumper. Can't do it. Byron Daly faced some adversity in this race, got caught on pit road, but at the end of the deal, he's going to come home and win at Auto Club.
And we had a great race for second and third right there between Comstock and Hightower. But boy, what a crash on the backstretch, Ben. That's heartbreaking for your points leader. He was in a fight right there until the very last.
Absolutely. And one driver that's going to like seeing Coleman finish that far back is going to be Nelson Rivera, who finished 10th. Steve Sheehan, who finished inside the top 10 in 6th. You know, Mike Kelly, who finished 4th. Chad Coleman's going to cross the line. Let's see where they've got him scored. 13th it looks, so not too bad of a points day there, but that could have been a whole lot worse for the number 20 machine. But nonetheless, let's not take anything away from Byron Daly, the driver, who's going to go home with the victory here tonight, and he's going to burn them down right here on the front stretch in beautiful California.
Hey, I looked in that replay. It looked like not the big one behind these guys, but the one that got involved with Chad Coleman, believe it or not, looks like netcode from the Net Zero car.
How about that? So Byron Daly burns it down on the AAA logo there. We'll talk to him and the rest of the top 3 right after this commercial break. You're watching the now post-race show for the Ford Entertainment Group K&N Series on the Sim Racing Network. We'll be back with podium interviews.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Auto Club Speedway as we're now full bore in the post-race show here on the Sim Racing Network as John Mushin has made his way down pit road to chat with some of our podium finishers. So we'll catch up with the driver who finished 3rd tonight first, and that number 42, Dave Comstock. John, what's he got to say about this, well, wild race, in a lack of better words?
Thank you, Ben. Yes, sir. I'm down here with Dave Comstock. David, man, that was an insane finish, buddy. Why don't you talk to us about your 3rd place run?
Oh, that was up and down. Started near the front, kind of stayed there, got shuffled a little bit on the restarts and stuff. You know, new tires, so you try to take advantage of all you can get. And you know, a lot of tough racing. It felt like a pack race there for a little bit. I think somewhere around that second green flag run we started there. But, you know, we run up there, and then we had that caution that set us back, and thought our race was done for. But we got opportunity to take 2 tires there, get more track position again, and get back up to the front, and almost all the buff. Byron's quick, man. He was once he got out front, clean air, he was gone.
Yeah, clean air, seemed to be the advantage tonight for anybody that got out in front. It was really hard to get by him. But hey, you brought it home 3rd and relatively scratch-free, my friend. Who do you want to thank for your run?
Aftermath Motorsports, their support, everybody at JD Army, running with them tonight. So with Byron Jordan, EJ, Alan Cryer, Chad Coleman, Jay Lair, a bunch of us who were all running Doy Woods. A lot of friends and good familiar faces to run with here. So it was fun to run with them tonight. You guys were broadcasting, Sim500 putting on the leagues. for Ford Performance Group for sponsoring the series and sponsoring the car at racingbiz.com. If you go to Facebook and search up racingbiz.com, there's auctions for any kind of like merchandise or die casts or pieces of car, whatever you want to go try to, put your bids in on and win some stuff on there. Go to Facebook every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. We got a live auction that runs there. Let's go check that out. Moss Energy, JDR Graphics, Gary Mercer Trucking, all the friends and fans watching. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for your time, Dave. And again, congratulations on your third place run. Ben, I'm going to let David get on out of here and drink some beer. I'm going to go try and find our second place runner.
Sounds good. Jordan Hightower. He started 4th tonight. Everybody that started inside the top 3 or finished in the top 3 started no worse than 4th. Jordan being the worst starter of the top 3 finishers tonight. He started 4th. Johnny finishes just 1 spot short. Had some great battles all throughout the race, and you've caught up with him now.
That's right. I've caught up to Mr. Hightower. Hey, Jordan, how you doing, buddy? You came in 2nd place, runner-up. Looked like you had a strong car tonight. Talk to us about your run.
Yeah, it was a fun race overall. It was pretty eventful the last half. I ran the last 40 laps on the same left side tires, so that made it a little bit challenging, but it was good overall.
So did that loosen the car up for you a little bit, or did it make it uncontrollable for you?
No, it loosened it up, but it was a good loose. It kept turning, and so it wouldn't get tight or anything. That was the big part.
Yeah, I've heard that from several drivers tonight. Well, you brought it home runner-up, 2nd place, man. It's a great finish tonight. Do you have anybody you want to thank for your run?
Just the people on T-Speak I race with, Byron and David. They got top 3s as well, and several other people that had some problems later in the race.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you for your time. Again, congratulations on your 2nd place run. We look forward to talking to you again next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Ben, that was our 2nd place runner, Jordan Hightower. I believe that you have found and caught up with Byron Daly and Victory Lane for the Old School Graphics and Designs Victory Lane interview.
Absolutely, and boy, our graphic guy, Aaron Grosskopf, over on the Sim500.com, it's real easy for him over the past couple of weeks. All he has to do is just change the photo. Don't have to change any font because it just says winner Byron Daly. Boy, you have been stinking it up here at Sim500. It's been a great past couple of weeks, great past month, really, for you here in Sim500 competition. This race tonight, though, up and down. If you had one word to describe it, what would it be?
Oh, it was definitely a crazy race. I mean, that's the best way to describe it.
Boy, you were up there battling with the lead with Hightower, Comstock, Jacoby, a mix of all drivers all night long. We saw the outside line start to take a more dominant role in the later part of this race, or in the later part of the tire run. That must have been fun, battling everybody there, and really Clean Air seemed to be the place you wanted to be tonight out front.
Yeah, the car is just, it's a little tight, so Clean Air was really important just so you can, push as hard as you needed to and not stay out of the fence, really. Honestly, like, it was just insane out there. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of battling. It was a lot of fun. The high line and 1 and 2 definitely running on that seam was, I thought, better once you got a few laps on the tires. It took me a little bit to figure it out. The only thing I'd say is I wish, once again, I could just get on the pit road and not have anything happen, but I still seem to always screw that up, but I got lucky this time.
I'd completely forgot about that, and probably don't want to bring it up now, though, but if you do remember, Byron, you did spin out there on pit road, but hey, come back from it. That's the thing of the past now. Doesn't matter that you're in victory lane. The only thing that's going to show on the record books is that you won, not that you had an issue coming to pit road. We head to Phoenix next week, and that'll be the first time we've head to a track less than 1.5 miles since Richmond. How you feeling about that?
I feel really good about Phoenix. I run pretty well there. You almost you gotta be careful there now because they've switched the track around in real life. So I was gonna say 1 and 2, but I think we're running the 2008 configuration, so that'd be 3 and 4. That's interesting, but I enjoy that track a lot. It's fun to race on, and it'll be cool because you can kind of maybe get away a little bit and kind of spread out if it goes green. So it'll be fun.
We're looking forward to it. We congratulate you on your win tonight here at Auto Club. Who you want to thank for putting you in victory lane?
Oh no, just want to thank the guys at Sim500 for putting on this league, Ford Entertainment Group for sponsoring the series. It's and you guys for broadcasting it. It's fun to watch the day after, so it's been a blast.
There you have it, John Byron Daly, your winner tonight in Fontana, California. We'll see you next week, Brian. So, John, I'd forgot about that, about the incident coming down the pit road. But man, oh man, that goes to show you these drivers never stop thinking about ways to get better in the car. And boy, Byron, just one of the best in all of online competition. And like I said, over the past month, he's just been tearing it up here in Sim500 competition, winning in the Winter Cup Series, and he's picked up a victory earlier in the season in this series as well, back at Homestead Miami Speedway, and wins tonight. And he says he feels comfortable about next week as well.
Well, good for him. I'm not a fan of Phoenix. Can't really stand that track. I don't care which way you run it, to be honest with you. But I'm sure it's going to be a great race to broadcast and watch. It's always an exciting place to run. I just, it's one of those tracks, Ben, to me, I'm great at Pocono. I love Pocono, and it's got 3 different corners, so why shouldn't I be good at Phoenix? You'd think, anyway, right? No, sir. I am horrible at Phoenix. But yeah, it's going to be a good race.
Phoenix is definitely a driver's track for sure. If you're good on the short tracks, you seem to be good at Phoenix. Well, that'll be coming up next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Sim Racing Network. We're so glad that you've tuned in to join us tonight from Auto Club. Let's take a look at those RacingBids.com final finishing results. Byron Daly going to come home with the win. Jordan Hightower second. Third, Dave Comstock. Fourth, Mike Kelly. And E.J. O'Rourke rounds out the top 5 there, John.
I tell you what, Ben, this was a great race tonight. It really was. All the joking aside, these guys, they just get, like you said earlier, they get better and better every week.
That they do. And they never disappoint on track, from the drop of the initial green all the way to the checkered flag. We've always got a story to be talking about with the Ford Entertainment Group series.
Absolutely. I mean, it did depend on whether at a bull ring track like Richmond or a super speedway like Talladega. These guys they never disappoint.
Absolutely. As we get set to head out of here tonight, Auto Club, we'll see you back on the Sim Racing Network Thursday night when we head to New Hampshire Motor Speedway with the Tour Modifieds with the Joe Gibbs Racing Off-Season Sim Series powered by Interstate Batteries. That's the qualifying race, so that'll be fun to watch. We'll see the Modifieds at the Magic Mile, some short track action there. But John, we head to Phoenix next week in this series. Any final thoughts from California tonight?
Oh, just, once again, a great race put on by the Sim500 guys. I want to thank Jeff over at FEG for sponsoring this race and giving these guys a little bit of incentive to drive smart and try and finish as many laps as they can. Like you said at the beginning of the show, the guy that finished with the most laps this season, completed laps, wins a brand new computer from FEG. So that's something to look forward to. But what a great race, man. I love this track, California, the setting, the track itself. It's a really fun race.
That it was, and we enjoy having you along for the ride. Mitch Rollo, thank him for all of his work behind the scenes at the Sim Racing Network. Aaron Grosscoffey's in producer training right now. He was doing a kind of a test stream to his own YouTube channel throughout the whole race tonight, so he got to put up with us behind the scenes as well. We want to thank everybody at Sim500, and like you said, John, everybody over at the Ford Entertainment Group, all the drivers for providing a great show. We look forward to seeing you Thursday night, and if we don't, we hope you have a great weekend. But until then, next time we'll see you. Remember, when you're out there on the roads, to put the phone down. Good night from California.